Well, he inspires you because you want to be him.
I think he's very humble.
He's not only a philanthropist, he's an unrelentless volunteer. He never tires. He's so committed to the cause that I honestly think the man eats, drinks, and sleeps Roswell Park.
So he doesn't talk a lot about what he does. He doesn't look for pats on the back. Just kind of goes out and does his thing and lets that kind of speak for itself.
For all the right reasons, wants to make the world a better place. It's in his DNA. He's a genuine guy, and he's the kind of guy people rally around because of that.
We finished polishing your trophy, Mr. Beeler.
Welcome to the club.
My inspiration for Roswell comes from the treatment my family received from Roswell. So I don't think our family's any different than thousands of others in Western New York. We had a great outcome, and because of that, I always wanted to find a way to do something, sort of, if you will, to repay what Roswell did for our family.
There's a unique quality about Bill in terms of his compassion and kindness and empathy.
And he's never going to be the one that really wants the credit. If you notice, if he's ever in a photo, he always finds a way to be in the back, or he's off to the side. I mean, he's never front and center. It's just not his nature to do that.
He just knows what he wants. He knows how to get it done. And if he needs to do it himself, he does it himself.
My first big impression of Bill was there's so many people that work behind the scenes with the Ride for Roswell logistically. And Bill came along one year, and the question was, in my mind, was who's getting the gators, who's getting the trash? And they said, don't worry about it. I'm like, what do you mean don't worry about it? And they said, Bill's got it. And it was kind of like, who the heck is this Bill guy?
I just remember saying to somebody, wow, he's been setting up tents, he's been huddling food, he's been taking care of everything, and not one bit tired, not one bit, and he was a free agent. He just knew what needed to be done, and he never had to be asked to do it.
He's there helping to set up. He's there not just on the bike the day of the event. He's there the day before, he's there the day after. And he gets a lot more people to be involved because they see his involvement and his dedication to it. And he's not doing it once or twice. He's done it every year, I think, since he started, which was many years ago. So when Bill's in, he's all in.
Bill works so tirelessly on the Ride for Roswell and encourages those to fundraise. But then weeks later, not only has he encouraged people to fundraise, but also motivates them to be able to accomplish a 500-plus mile ride across New York State.
First year that Kathy did what I call the Kathy Graham Hill, and people struggle coming up this one.
He actually met me at the bottom of the hill. I didn't even realize that he had already gone up the hill once with other folks, came down to get me, knowing that I was going to be there. And then once he knew that I was at the top of the hill, he turned around to go back and give hope to others. I mean, who does that? I mean, that's just amazing.
Bill's got a big old smile, just bringing people up one at a time, and it doesn't matter how many times he goes up and down. He's there and he inspires people to get up those hills. It's absolutely, it's incredible.
He pushes us, when everybody else might be comfortable with where we are. Bill is a driver. He's never quite satisfied. He pushes us all to be better, to give it 110%. And Roswell is the beneficiary of all that commitment, incredible commitment to the cause.
I mean, not only does he do the Empire State Ride and the Ride for Roswell, but he also serves on the Scientific Advisory Committee.
A lot of the research and scientists at Roswell evaluate proposals for funding for various research projects.
All of us are focused on the many grants that have been funded by the Alliance Foundation. Bill was driven by the fact that some good science was not being funded.
I left that first meeting thinking, boy, there's 30-some projects and this is a great thing, only to find out down the road that only 3 of those were able to be funded. And that was sort of the turning point for me. I kept thinking in my mind, what if that 4th one was the one?
He leaves that room thinking, I'm going to come up with an idea. I'm going to come up with something to just raise more money.
And that was his vision behind the Herd of Hope, that it could make a difference by raising more funds and giving a bigger grant to science, promising science at Roswell.
It's July 16th, 7/16. It's a perfect day to launch a buffalo-themed fundraiser. We've been seeing these blue buffaloes pop up all over Western New York in the last couple of weeks, and today we learned why. It's a Roswell fundraiser to fight cancer called Herd of Hope.
I think the blue buffaloes stand for community. I think that when you see the blue buffaloes out there within the Western New York community, it's individuals coming together to want to make a difference.
So it's my pleasure to announce the winner of the 2018 Herd of Hope Team Science Award is Improving Cancer Therapy by Countering Mechanisms of Resistance, and it's the team led by David Goodrich.
I think when it really resonated that the Herd of Hope was going to be successful was when we were able to, within 6 months, we were able to award our first grant.
As a result of the initial Herd of Hope campaign, our team was awarded a grant for $500,000, and this has had an enormous impact on my research program, and that enthusiasm has trickled down to really enrich my whole lab's environment.
The scientists really don't get that kind of love on the front line, and so there was great energy and they were feeling this wonderful support.
My goal will always be the same, is to have a Herd of Hope buffalo in front of every single business in Western New York. So I'm thrilled that we were able to, again, move one of those ideas languishing in the lab to see the light of day and have the opportunity to make a difference.
He gives, he cares, he loves, and it always seems to be about others. I don't even know if the word I is anywhere in his vocabulary. So I guess I would say thank you, Bill, for the pleasure of knowing you and having the chance to work with you and to make a difference in the fight against cancer.
Bill, congratulations on receiving the Katherine and Gioia Award. There is no one that is more deserving than you. You have been there for me throughout my entire battle, and I couldn't thank you enough. I love you, my friend.
I've lived all over the country. I've served in the military. I've served for Roswell. I've worked for a global corporation. In fact, I can't think of anybody that I've served with that have had as much positive energy and influence as Bill has. I don't know if I ever will.
Well, Bill, if I hope one thing for you tonight as you're receiving this award is that you accept it graciously and quietly say you do deserve it. Because if I know you right now, you're sitting in the audience and you're naming all these other people that are part of Roswell that you think deserve it more than you do. And I can't think of anyone who deserves it more than you.
I don't want to blow his cover, but he does a lot of things anonymous because it's not about getting credit, it's about making a difference in the world. And that's who Bill is. So he won't like this, but he'll like the fact that the Herd of Hope got a lot of attention.
If I can support those efforts in any way that we save just one, people ask me, well, how many, why does that work for you? And in my mind, it only has to be one person. And if I can make it some kind of a difference that helps just a single person, I'm good. So, and that's what Roswell is for me.
Bye, Buffalo.
For his dedication to the cause and his inspirational efforts to rally support and raise funds for Roswell Park and its patients, we are pleased to recognize Bill Loecher with the Katherine and Gioia Inspiration Award.